Well, hello. I recently filmed a video review of the Sipliv 9122. This is the Beauty 8001. This is also a Chinese pen. This one is definitely a little fancier than the Sipliv. You know, this flowery design. But let me tell you a little bit about it. I bought this pen just because it was so eye-catching. It's another hooded nib. I almost wonder if it's the same nib as the Sipliv, but it doesn't write quite as smoothly, but it could be the individual nib. I don't know. Snap cap. It's a bigger round than the Sipliv. The grip is starting to chip already, and I haven't had this pen that long. I'm disappointed by that, but the paint on the barrel is just fine. There's a little arrow on the grip pointing down toward the nib, which was worn out the very first time I opened the pen. So I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's kind of heavy. Not real heavy, but it's, you know, a heavier pen because it's metal. Inside, I've never seen a converter quite like this on one of the Chinese pens before. I haven't decided yet if it's a good high-quality converter or not, but it definitely feels more substantial than the other ones I've used. And it has a little spring inside of it that acts as an agitator, so that's kind of nice. We'll cap her up again. It's a snap cap, and one of my disappointments, especially with a hooded nib, is this shows the same characteristics as a lot of the Jinhao pens, where the ink will start to dry out, or water evaporates anyway, as the pen sits unused for a while. So I'm not happy about that. The design is kind of cool. In fact, a lady teacher where I work wore a shirt with almost this design, so I kind of hid the pen because I didn't want to embarrass her. So let's talk size just for a minute. Definitely a heavier pen. Capped. It's about the same length as a Noodler's Conrad, maybe a 1/16 of an inch shorter, but with the variation in a Noodler's Conrad, who knows. Uncapped. It is about 1/2 inch shorter than the Conrad. Now, should I talk about its size posted? Okay, this is why I'm sitting for this review. Oh, it actually stuck that time. I have a very hard time getting the cap to, there it goes. I have a very hard time getting the cap to stay on when I post it. It just wants to fall off. You know, I guess I can really jam it on, as I did that time, but it falls off, so I'm not going to bother comparing the posted sizes. This is not a pen that can be posted. So would I buy this again? Nope. It's, you know, it's neat to look at, but I think this is one I'll be giving away. It's just not that great of a pen. It's okay. It's just kind of a, I don't have anything that looks like it, but as far as pens, it's nothing special to me. So that said, we'll do a writing sample. We'll talk to you later. I'm going to do my writing sample with the Beauty 8001 fountain pen. My ink I've chosen is Monteverde Turquoise, which is a lubricated ink, which doesn't mean much to a writing sample. I find this pen very reliable, reasonably smooth, and of course this is a nice ink. I don't have a lot of turquoise, but this one I do have, I do like. So it's a hooded nib. You get a little line variation with it, but honestly not a whole lot. You don't, it's just, there's some mechanical difficulties with making a hooded nib very flexible. This pen does dry out a little bit if I let him sit for a while, but not too badly. And I'm going to do my writing sample. You'll hear it writes actually quite smoothly. Not perfect, but it's smooth. It's surprising, honestly. If I want to criticize it, it's the fact that the paint is already chipping off the grip, and I haven't had it that long. So my quote today is from Galileo. Okay, the sunlight is already migrating. I have to move to another part of the room, but as you can see, it wrote very smoothly, very reliably. You get a little bit of shading and line variation there, not a lot. You know, The biggest thing with this pen for me is it's so unique. I don't have another pen at all like this. That makes it fun. And isn't that what this is all about? If I need a writing tool, I can use a cheap pencil or a free ballpoint that I steal from the bank. The reason I use fountain pens is because they're fun, and this is fun. So I thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.